So those are the 6 modules, for the body parts. We started with chest, then we did shoulders, then we did triceps and biceps, then we did legs, and then we did back. And I forgot, we also did a module with the abs and calves. So let's talk about how we started in the beginning. When this video series first started, we talked about the 5 components of old body composition and how excited I was to do this video series because I see so much misinformation in the gym, and I wanted to impart the truth about what it takes. Again, the 5 components we talked about: the proper food intake, the proper amount of cardio, which is the least amount of specific work to get you to change, the right supplementation we talked about, the resistance training, which I said is the magic bullet to overcome a plateau, and then component 5, which is me or a professional individualizes the above 4 components and manipulates them over time. We then talked about how the body can work in a way of each muscle, and what we do is there were the 3 major planes of the body. We talked about the horizontal plane, we talked about the sagittal plane, and we talked about the frontal plane and how you don't want to cross planes. And then we talked about how the steps to an exercise. And then we use the chest as a great example. Where is the muscle? The chest inserts at the sternum, the clavicle, and the upper arm. And now it's a fan-shaped muscle. Okay, so we know where it is, and we know its fiber direction, and we know its shoulder horizontal adduction, adding toward the center of your body. Now that you know where the muscle is, where it inserts, where it attaches, its fiber direction, you then add resistance to that muscle's motion, which could be with a cable, it could be with a free weight, it could be with resistance bands. But then I told you the key is to make sure that muscle is directly opposing resistance. In addition, like I talked about, where you start is where you stay. And when we talked about tricep extension, cable extension, how the elbow should not move. Again, where you start is where you stay. You don't want the elbow to move here, forward or backward, because the shoulder will move. Okay? So the last thing I kind of really want to focus on, and I really didn't talk about it during each module, is going to absolute muscular failure. And you see the speed that we have demonstrated here is very much under control, both the concentric, peak contraction, and eccentric. Okay? The goal is not to move weight from point A to point B. The goal is to create the most amount of tension over time, to recruit the most amount of muscle fibers to complete that movement, to fully exhaust those fibers, to tear those fibers down, to create as much muscle damage as possible, so that we have that epoch that I spoke about. And then you leave the gym and you're burning tons of calories, and that your body is now repairing itself, doing that cleanup, reorganization, and growth phase. And people don't realize that they don't go to absolute muscular failure. That is not being able to complete another concentric part of a rep. I need to emphasize this. It is extremely important as far as component 4 resistance training, going to absolute muscular failure. When it starts to hurt, that is the beginning of the set. Going to absolute failure. I can't not stress this enough, how important that is. Because you want to recruit as many muscle fibers in that muscle as possible. Well, tension, doing it with tension over time. I thank you for watching, and I will be more than happy to set up a program for anybody. Again, what I did here was give the best exercises for each body part. Again, this is not a program from somebody. Someone's program is going to be different based on their goals, their physical limitations, and their anatomical structure. I am Scotty the Body, aka Scotty the Body Mechanic. If you'd like to contact me to individualize the 5 components, you can contact me at scottapex1998@yahoo.com.